I'm Victoria, and today we're going to do boundary games. And to start off with, the idea behind boundary games is that the dogs learn to love being in a place, and it can be used in a variety of circumstances. And I'm just going to go straight into this. So I've just got some daily food allowance. And to start off with, all we're going to do is feed the bed. We don't want to feed their mouths, we're going to feed the bed. And we feed, 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 and then lure off. And then more often than not, they will come back to the bed, and then we feed, 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 and then lure off. Yes, and we mark them when they get on and they get in the right position. And the reason why we're feeding the bed is we don't want them to just start policing our hands. And we want them to figure out what I want them to do. So you lure off or throw off, they come back, yes. And then you feed, 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 and then lure off. And then they come back on and they start pinging back to the bed. The next stage you could do, you could reduce the number of times you are drip feeding, and you can move around. As long as they stay on the bed, I don't mind what they do. But the goal is that they stay on the bed until I give them the release. When you've got them just on the bed and being lured off, you can then start adding in a release cue. So what you want to do is do the new cue, which I am going to use B-R-E-A-K, followed by the old cue, which is the luring. So we've been feeding to the bed, and then I say, break. And there's a little beat. Yes, good boy, he's clever. Break. Yes, good boy. Break. Yes, good boy. Super. And you can also play a mouse game on the bed. And the mouse game helps them with disengagement, but you put food into your hands and you cover it. And when the moment they back off, yes, you're going to take a piece of food towards them. If you're fiddling with the food and they're a little more advanced and they have got some self-control, just by playing with the food and fiddling with it, this adds to their arousal. So it can also help build up their self-control. Nice. Break. Good boy. Yes. You can walk around, go around the clock. Can they still stay on the boundary or the bed or whatever you've chosen? But in the grooming salon, this is one of the first exercises that I teach them, because they start to love the bed. Nicely turned, got back on. And they generally will gravitate back to a place they feel comfortable. So even if they need to take a break, because something we're doing on the boundary, on the table, is stressful, more often than not, if we just wait, they will hop back up on there again. So you can even practice doing a distance from the boundary. So for example, can I move away from here and will he stay there? Yeah, nice. And just for doing that, I'm going to give him a little reward. I don't know how this will go. Yeah, nice. Good boy. Break. Yes, good boy. Some troubleshooting tips with this game is if you find when you're starting it that your dog is not returning to the boundary or the bed immediately. I use a raised bed because I found that the defined edge, having a different height, makes it a lot easier for them to understand where they're supposed to be. You can grow after they've got the concept, but you can use anything for this if you want. A bed, a doormat, a blanket, whatever you like. So if, for example, he wasn't bouncing back to me, I might lure him off the bed, but situate the bed directly in his path. Yes, good boy. So that when he returns to me, he can't fail. He pretty much is going to have to come back across the bed. Sometimes maybe a little way over the bed, so then that would be a separate exercise to introduce them to it. But the idea is that, so put the bed in between where the dog is going, yes, and where it's coming. That's another troubleshooting tip. If you find that your dog goes off, and just be patient, sometimes they might just need to sniff and then they come back. But if you find that they are just literally bogging off and not coming back, what you can try doing is, when they're off, just lift up the bed a minute. Because pretty much when you put this down, they are going to be like, how do I get on this? See how he is? So I'm now going to put it flat. Yes, good boy. And all we're doing, by taking something away from them, they want it even more. So that is boundary range. You can grow it to a point where, imagine if you're in the kitchen and you come home with all your shopping and you don't want to be mugged. You can then invite them to get onto their bed and they will stay there until you release them. He's still very young, so we are still growing that technique, but we do this game no more than 3 minutes at a time, or you can do it maybe while you're watching TV. This is one of those great exercises that you can do when you have no extra time. You're watching your favourite programme. Nice. Why not do a little boundary game for 3 minutes and it will eventually grow. And over time, you'll find that your dog naturally gravitates towards their bed. You can have different things throughout the house, a different room. They will go and find it. Nice. Fire's making a noise. So I use that. It's one of the first things I teach a dog in the grooming salon, is to safely get on and off the table or to a place that they are comfortable with. But it can really help with just having a calm life. When visitors come over, send them to their bed until you're ready for them to be released. But we just need to grow it and let them figure it out for themselves. Have fun with it.